channel. My name is Gwen, for those who don't know, and today I have a very special video. I'm bringing on somebody that you guys will see again, but today we're going to be talking about post-graduation. And post-graduation is a topic that I don't feel like is discussed enough. I wish I would have heard more about post-graduation and people's experiences, because I don't feel like I would have gone through a lot of the things I did this year if I would have had a little bit of insight on that. So with that being said, let me introduce you guys to a big sister, a very close friend, and a very dear soul to my heart, Haleigh Talbert. Woo! Yes, Haleigh Talbert, guys. Haleigh, introduce yourself.
What's up, you guys? All right, so I am Haleigh Talbert. Gwen has already introduced me as her sister.
Okay.
For those of you that know Gwen, you should know me. I went to Trinity High School. I graduated from there. I had a full ride scholarship out of college. Out of high school.
Emphasis on the full.
Full, exactly. And I played basketball at University of California in Irvine, and it was honestly a wonderful time. I think I took it a little bit for granted, and so I'm here today to share my story with you guys and hopefully answer any of those questions that people that are graduating, going into high school, going into college or going out of college, and just helping you guys with more insight.
That was beautiful. Like I said, this video is about post-graduation. And it's that time of the year. Holiday season is coming up. Everybody's about to be with their friends and family. This is the time when people start asking what's next, especially for y'all that are graduating in December. I just want you guys to, for one, don't put too much pressure on yourself. I already know that you probably have a plan, and if you don't, it's okay. But before I even get into that, we're gonna just ask a few questions and we're gonna answer the questions together. This is not like an interview, this is more of a conversation. So I want y'all's feedback, comment down below, share what you guys think about the questions, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the first question is, what has been the best and hardest part about the post-graduation season for you?
The best would be, it's a lot of good that's happened. I'm engaged, so the best has been spending time with my fiance, being back with my family. I'm a very family-oriented person, so being away from them for those 4 years in college was pretty hard for me. The best has been, honestly, the challenges has been the best part, because that's what's made me who I am today. If I never went through those, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to Gwen.
Talk about it.
So honestly, I would say the best and the good kind of correlate with each other. Like, I'm grateful for everything that I've gone through. But if I want to give a specific example for how hard it's been, I was just recently unemployed. I came from making so much money in college, free money, and I think growing up in a household where I did not have a lot of money, we struggled. I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with 4 people inside of it, and I slept on the couch. And a lot of people did not know that about me, because everybody just thought I'm Haleigh Talbert. Especially at Trinity, people thought I was just up here, and I really wasn't. So when I was making all that money in college, I blew it all. I was trying to buy shoes, clothes, anything that made me look good. I was trying to stunt on social media and look like I have it all. And once I graduated, I barely post now, because I'm not that person anymore. I'm not that person that's buying all this materialistic stuff, trying to be something that I know I'm not right now at the moment. Once I have the money that I need, honestly, I'll probably be buying all those things. So those that do buy stuff like Gwen right here, I'm happy for her. I'm glad that she can do that. Don't act like you ain't big balling. Come on now. But anyways, I think going through that reality check of things get hard. Like, I'm talking about, I was pushing paycheck after paycheck. I was on unemployment. I honestly went through like 30 years of life in like 6 months, because I went from having all this money to being broke as I don't know what, to now I'm employed now, thankfully, by the grace of God. But it honestly was, that would be the hardest part of it, but it's the best part also, because I learned from it. Now I'm being smart with my money. I'm saving, I'm investing, I'm being responsible with my money, not just buying it on unnecessary things. And I have a goal and I have plans for the future. So
that's awesome. Thank you. What's up? For me, I will start with the hardest. The hardest part for me was definitely the rejection that I experienced in the early stages of post-graduation. So right after college, I moved back home. I had a lot of plans. I wanted to move out. I really wanted to find a work from home job before like studying for future schooling. And none of that went as planned. On top of that, I went through a lot of unexpected changes that really took a toll on me mentally, emotionally, and physically this year. And so the rejection that I experienced was something that I would have never thought I would have experienced, because I don't mean this in a bragging way, but growing up, I never really experienced rejection. Every job that I applied for, I got. Every team that I tried out for, I was on. And right after graduation, I was applying for jobs. I mean, we get a degree to get a job or to be in a career, and I just experienced back-to-back rejection. I would wake up to emails every day, oh, unfortunately, somebody else was better, basically. You know, they say it in a nicer way. But that really, I don't know, y'all. I was going through it this year. I was in the bed crying every day, would only get up to use the restroom, shower. And again, it's one of those things that I don't feel like a lot of people shine light on, because it's like, oh, graduation, which again, celebrate, embrace, like whatever you've been accomplished, like whether it's an associate's degree, whether it's a bachelor's degree, doctorate degree, whatever it is, like celebrate it. Right, no degree. If you decide to do something else in life, like celebrate what that is, and don't try to like rush that celebration, because I think that's what I did. Yeah. Like it was like I was at my peak in December. And right after that, I was expecting the boom, 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 boom.
Most,
and when none of that stuff came through, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was devastated. So that was definitely the hardest part, the rejection. The best part I can agree with you on, I went out of state for school as well. I went to Mississippi State University. I'm a Bulldog. But, okay, anywho. I went to Mississippi State, and I had no friends, no family, nothing out there when I first went. Thankfully, I was able to meet some incredible people, but I was away from family. And so with that being said, being back around just everybody has just really, it's been great. And it's been a good season for me to be back with, you know, family changes and stuff like that. I'm just glad to see my nieces and nephews grow up and be around cousins and all of that. So that would be my best part of post-graduation as well.
And I want to commend you for getting through that.
Thank you.
Because you are doing great. I think that sometimes you forget how old you are and how far ahead you are of other people. So you need to remember that.
Thanks, Hansel. Y'all, she's Hansel. I'm Gretel, by the way. We've had that nickname since high school.
Whenever she came to high school.
Yeah, and I was like, you know, I was super young. So I was like 14.
And you still are.
Anywho. Next question. Question number 2. If you could go back to a month before you graduated, what advice would you give yourself?
Are you going to answer this?
Yeah, I'll answer this one first. The advice that I would give myself would be, it's okay if your plans don't work out. That would be plain and simple. Y'all, I had a problem growing up. And I don't think it's a problem being a planner, because to this day I'm still a planner. But I'm one of those people where, like, if my plans don't work out, I really am devastated. Like,
same.
I really am devastated. It's just one of those things where it's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, what did I do wrong? And I just find myself in this continuous cycle of trying to figure out what was wrong, what went wrong, instead of trying to figure out what I can do to either still accomplish that plan or do something even better, you know? Yeah. And so I know a lot of you guys have plans right now, whether it was like me, to move out, to start a business, to get a job. If that doesn't work out in your time frame, it's gonna work out in God's time frame, and that's the best time frame. That's the best time frame. Like, even though I'm not at my best right now, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, I'm not at my best, but I can definitely tell you guys that God has provided in ways that I would have never imagined. And I had to kind of just throw my plans out the door and allow God's plans to and allow God's plans to just work out. I just feel like some of you guys need to maybe do the same. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but if you are so wrapped up in your plans and your goals and your ambitions, you might lose sight of what God really wants to do through you.
Yeah.
So take a step back. Take a step back. You can still have plans, you can still have goals, and just allow God's plans to work out. If you don't know where to go, if you don't know what to do, it's okay. Pray through it. Focus on the now. That's another thing that I would say. Focus on the now. Take things one step at a time.
Yeah.
And just allow God to work. So that's my advice that I would give myself.
That was a good point. I feel like that was a really good point, so I don't know what to say. Great. Okay, so my advice would be, I went through a bunch of depression this past year, unseen, because nobody knew that I was depressed besides me. I would tell myself that don't let your lows get you too low and don't let your highs get you too high, to where when that low crashes you, you feel like there's never going to be a brighter day, or when that high is too good, when something bad happens, you don't know how to bounce back from that. And so that would be the advice that I would give myself, because I've been living through that right now. Like, I was on such a high that I thought, man, I could never go back down there. I could never be broke again. I could never experience less friends. I could never experience just not, living the life that I had planned for myself at this point. But it happened. I went through a bunch of hard things, and I went through a bunch of dark moments, dark days. I just never reached out to anybody. So it's like, for those that play basketball or just athletics, period, like when you have a bad game and it's kind of hard to like bounce from that bad game, because in the moment of it, like soon as you get onto yourself and you start feeling really bad about your performance, it's like nobody else can come talk to you and be like, hey, Haleigh, come on, we need you for this game. Because you already like telling yourself like everything's so hard right now, like you just feel like you've already let people down. And so in those moments, you have to tell yourself to get out of your own funk, or it's never gonna happen. No matter who's in your ear telling you that everything's gonna be good, like you hear, oh, you're gonna be good, you're gonna be straight, like none of that. You can't listen to any of that, because you don't want to hear any of that, because you're just feeling like everything is just so bad. But if you could tell yourself everything's gonna be good, a day from now, 2 days from now, people are gonna forget all the things that has gone wrong in your life as soon as you start flipping things around. I feel like that kind of is how it is for me, or how it was for me. Like, I was just hearing everybody saying that everything's gonna be good, even though they didn't know how deep in I was, to where I had to get myself out of it. So yeah, don't let your lows get you too low, and don't let your highs get you too high.
So question number 3 is, why do you think this is not a topic that is discussed a lot? Question number 3.
Like post-grad?
Yeah, post-graduation, the season after post-graduation, all of that. Why do you think this is not a topic that's discussed a lot?
I think it's a topic that's not talked about a lot because people are embarrassed. Like, I was embarrassed. Like, that's why I don't post on social media, because I was this, I guess you could say, popular person in high school, or like, I was well known in high school. And it was really because of basketball. And when I stopped bouncing the ball, I wasn't that popular person anymore. I was just a regular civilian. I was just a regular citizen in the U.S., and that was embarrassing for me. Like, post-grad, you thinking I'm about to be making all this money, I'm about to be traveling here and there, I'm about to be doing all this, I'm gonna get the job that I want, I'm not gonna struggle, I'm gonna do what my parents couldn't do, or I'm gonna be that next person in my family to, graduate. Graduation was a high for me. It was the best day of my life, and then it just went a little downhill. Like I'm not saying like my life has been horrible. That's not what it is. It's just I had expectations for myself and I didn't get to reach those expectations with the deadline that I had. So I really felt like I failed myself.
Yeah.
And so I just think it's not talked about a lot because people are embarrassed to share their stories and let people know where they are. I don't really care. I'm not scared to tell people. If they ask, I'm not gonna just put it out there, but I'm not scared to be upfront with people and let them know, you know, my business isn't doing how I thought it was gonna do.
Right.
Or I'm not at the job that I wanna be at. Or life after basketball hasn't been the best. You know, I'm not scared to tell people that because that's just real life. And as I'm growing and as I'm seeing more people my age in the same position that I am, I'm not embarrassed by any means necessary, like at all. Like I feel I'm where God wanted me to be so that I could, you know, learn from everything. So
yeah, that's what's up.
What would you say?
I feel like this is not a topic discussed a lot because people always talk about the big things, but they don't talk about the process. Like the big thing is graduation. Like you're gonna get your diploma, you're gonna get your degree, but then people don't talk about the process afterwards or like the next thing. But the next thing would be getting a job, right?
Yeah.
People don't talk about the process in between you graduating and getting that job or graduating and getting that business. And I feel like I don't really know what that specific reason as to why people don't talk about it, but I feel like that plays a role. Embarrassment. Yeah. I feel like people want to put on this facade like, oh, like things are always so good, you know, when that's just not the reality of
it. That's the age that we're living in right now.
Yeah, like it's always just about the big things, the big things, the big things. Y'all, the big things are great, but I feel like the process is even greater. Yeah. Because even though those are the struggle times, those are the times when people don't see you crying in the car, crying in the bed, those
in
are
the shower.
Right, the shower. Music. The shower. Like they don't see you crying. You don't, and nobody really just wants to share that either, you know? Like when I went through my tough season this year, I was up in but I had to talk about it. Yeah. Like if it wasn't for the people that were in my close circle, like you and other friends and family, like I would not be here today. Yeah. You know? And so I just feel like it's so important that we shed light on these things because we are not in this alone. We were not created to live this life alone. We were created to be in community with others. So don't ever think for 1 second that, oh, I graduated. If y'all are going through this season right now, or you're still in the season, if you graduated in May, or graduated last December, or graduated years ago, and you're still going through this season of post-graduation, trying to find yourself, and this identity crisis that I feel like a lot of people are in, you are not alone. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of getting goosebumps, kind of getting emotional because it's just like, you are not alone.
I think it's a very serious topic.
It really is. Like, the whole identity crisis thing of, oh, you've been in school for 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 years, and you're out of school, and it's like, who am I? I think I kind of went through that too.
I went through that big time.
Yes, like, or basketball.
My life was basketball. Yeah. So when you stop dribbling the ball, it's like, what do I do now? Yeah. Where do I go from here? And so my brand was what helped me realize that there's more to life than just basketball. And I'm glad, you know, but I feel like this is just for athletes, but I feel like there's athletes out there that will continue to play basketball or continue to play football, track, soccer, all that stuff. They'll continue to play that after college because they're scared of the next chapter in their life. Yeah. And they're holding on to something that they really don't even care that much about. That's really causing them pain. I mean, let me tell you, I went through a bunch of mental health problems with the team that I played for my senior year because coaches weren't taking mental health that serious, and it was really hard for me. And that's why I didn't take my COVID year. I had a COVID year and I didn't take it because I just felt like it wasn't worth it. I love that Gwen brought me here to talk about post-graduation and stuff like that, and I think that it was a great topic for you to choose. But I feel like we should talk to people that graduated out of high school that didn't even go to college.
Bro, part 2.
Part 2?
That.
Because I think they had it tougher in a way.
No, for real.
I think it's both. Because the people, part 2, but the people that graduated in high school, they were so low the first 2 years.
Yeah.
But when I graduated from college, thinking I'm all hot, I realized that they was doing so good for themselves because, you know, them first 2 years was probably hard for them, but the next 3 years, they grinded it out, and now they got adjusted to the real world. And when you come in straight out of college, you know, you did school this whole time. Now I'm going through the tough 2 years.
Yeah.
And I got the next 3 years to figure everything out. So I think that's not talked about a lot because I think that they went through some struggles and it was hard for them, and they wish that they went to college. They wouldn't, or maybe they didn't care to go to college, but regretted it, whatever. But I think that's something that needs to be talked about.
Yeah, and that I'm so happy you brought that up because, look, part 2. I'm finna tap into it before part 2. Y'all just stay tuned.
Part 2.
All right, so question number 4 is how did we overcome the post-graduation season? Should I answer first? Okay. So how I overcame the post-graduation season is I had to just tell myself to go through it. No, like this is gonna sound very like, okay, like what? No, but I literally had to tell myself, Gwen, you gotta go through, you can't get around this. This is the reality of the situation. This is the reality of your life right now.
Yeah.
You just graduated. You don't have a job. You're at your parents' house. Jobs are rejecting you. A lot of other things in your life are falling apart. But this is the reality, and how am I going to go through this? Mm-hmm. I remember there was one day that I literally woke up and I said, Gwen, you can't keep crying anymore. Yeah. Like, you cannot keep staying in the bed. You have to get up. Like, you have to get up. You have to go walk. You have to go drive. You have to go work out. You have to do something for yourself, because this constant cycle of staying in the bed all day, crying is not going to change the reality of it. So I had to literally just go through it. I had to start working out like I used to. I had to start finding things that I love. I had to show up for myself. This year was the first year that I could definitely say that I started pouring into my own cup, because I spent year after year after year pouring into everybody else's. Like, everybody else was my priority before I was my priority. So this year, I literally had to take a step back. Like you guys have seen, I've been traveling, doing a lot of solo traveling, and just pouring into myself, doing things that I love and desire. And so that's another way that I got through post-graduation.
That was good. I just don't want to be emotional.
Really?
Yes, that was good. I think it's because I know, like, everything that you went through, and I've seen you, like, be vulnerable and cry and stuff like that, so I think that's why I'm just happy that you are where you are right now. But I would say, okay, question.
All right, question number 4 is, how did you get through your post-graduation season? Like, what did you do to overcome? How did you get through it? How are you where you are now?
I am where I am today through all the post-graduation funk of a season by listening to this book called bro, it was I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's about habits. It's a good book.
It's okay. We'll include it in the description box whenever you find it.
We'll include it. But the book basically was telling me that the habits that I was creating were not going to get me where I wanted to be in life. And if I kept repeating the same bad habits, it was going to be a big regret in the long run. And so I started reading books just recently, but that book really made me realize like I need to get up, go work out. I need to, if I want to be successful in my business, I need to put time into my business. Right. I can't just put, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. I have to, actually dedicate hours to my business. I need to not be afraid to get out there and try to jump into internships or jump into applying for jobs, because I wasn't doing that. I was scared. I honestly didn't know what I wanted to do, but now I do. I love graphic design. I love videography. I do videography on the side. I love doing anything that's creative. So I had to start learning who I am, who is Haleigh. And I think for a long time, like Gwen said earlier, the identity crisis, I think I had that because I didn't know who I was. And once I found me and I found what I love to do and, the people that I want to be around, because I think for a long time, I just was around people that I thought was my family, my friends, because growing up, playing basketball, not saying that the people that I am close with are not my family, but I think for a long time, basketball just makes you be connected to people that you're not really connected to, because y'all call each other sisters and y'all call each other, family, but you're just family for one goal, for a season, and one goal, and that's to hang up a banner. And so I had to realize that I need to surround myself around people that actually want to do what I want to do in life and want to get to where I want to get to in life, and want to break those generational curses. Bro! So I started surrounding myself around a different group of people, and I started figuring out who to cut off, because I think I was trying to hold on to friendships that I didn't need to hold on to anymore. Long-winded answer, but I just think once I started fixing my habits and surrounding myself around certain people that had the same mindset as me, that's how I broke out of the funk of the season that I was in. And I'm honestly super grateful. And I'm glad to be where I am today. I'm not where I want to be, but I got out of depression, and so many times I wanted to let go. So many times I wanted to just give up, and I realized that there's worse things out there in life, and the temporary struggle that I'm going through right now should not be the end all be all of my life. So
that is so beautiful.
Thank you.
You got me so hyped when you said the generational curses, y'all.
We're breaking them.
Because we're breaking them. Financial debt ends with me.
Okay.
Financial debt ends with me. I don't want my kids to deal with what I've dealt with, what my parents have dealt with, what my grandparents have dealt with, what my great-grandparents, like it ends with me. So just like you said, surrounding ourselves with people that are on that same mindset, that are on fire for life the way we are, like, y'all, she got me hyped. But, so like we said, part 2 is coming. We really want you guys to be encouraged during this upcoming season or during the season that you are currently in. And so I hope you guys took something from this video. I just want to say and reiterate that you are not alone on this journey. Please reach out to me. I'm gonna put Haleigh's socials. I don't know if she'll respond to y'all because she.
You can. Honestly, I really don't care who reaches out.
Yeah, but like we really do want to inspire, influence, and impact people. I'm
a sweet person, I promise you. I mean,
she really is.
Believe me, I'm very sweet.
She's trying to act like she's all hard.
I am not.
She's not. But no, for real, like if you need anybody to talk to about this, like we would be more than happy to be those people. Ask us questions, comment down below. But you are not alone in this journey. If you have a plan, great. If you don't, great. Don't get so wrapped up in plans and don't get so wrapped up in deadlines. I think you used that word earlier. If it doesn't happen on your time, it will happen in God's time. And God's time is the best time. So, so cute. Why is she laughing at me, y'all? No, for real. Like, God's time is the best time. He makes no mistakes.
Definitely.
So just trust the Lord. And the last thing I would say is You're gonna get through it. This is just a season. It's temporary. Like Haleigh said, there's the end goal, and you're gonna get to the end goal. Like, get up. If you're in the bed crying, if you're in the bed wondering what's next, get up. Start focusing on now. Start trying to better yourself now, and you will get there.
Yes,
so,
Haleigh. Yes.
Closing remarks?
Put yourself first. Don't give up on yourself, and always remember that it's another 24 hours tomorrow. How you're feeling today does not reflect what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Right.
You might not have got that job offer today, but tomorrow might be the day. You might not have.
Come on.
You might not have had the right people around you, but tomorrow somebody might introduce themselves and say, hey, you know, you might be feeling so low and down today, but tomorrow it might be the best of best days. You might run into a bunch of people. You might see a rainbow. I don't know, whatever makes you happy, you might see that tomorrow. And so look forward to tomorrow and stop dwelling on today and the temporary emotions and feelings that you're feeling in that moment. Because I was there and I was in the dark place and I never thought I was gonna get out of it. And I was abusing alcohol. I'll say I was abusing alcohol. I was being rude to people that I loved, and I was cutting people off. And don't let that affect you. You're gonna get through it. So that would be my advice. That's my closing remark.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Well, I just want to thank you so much for being on my part 1. I didn't know I was gonna do 2 parts, but we might do 3.
We might
just keep talking about it, okay? We might just keep talking about it. I just want to thank you so much for sacrificing your wonderful evening.
My busy schedule.
Your busy schedule to be on my video, on our video.
I just feel like it's going to be like 200K people looking at this later down the road when Gwen gets famous. So I'm happy to be here. A million, you know, I'm happy to be here where it all started. So I'm just grateful to you for even asking me to be a part of this.
Thank you. Well, again, be encouraged. We hope you guys have a great week. If you're in school right now, keep going. We're proud of you. We know you're going to finish strong. And we know that life after graduation, even though it might not be smooth, you're going to get through it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Answer the questions that we asked.
Or ask us more questions for our part 2.
Bro, that's how you my dog. But I love you guys. Have a great week and love. If you guys don't know, Haleigh is a CEO. She didn't let y'all know, but I'm gonna let y'all know. Haleigh is the CEO of Bless the Sixth Man. Can you tell us how you started that company?
I can, Gwen. I can.
Yeah, she's so extra. But hold on. Before you do that, I'm actually wearing one of my favorite shirts in my closet, designed by Haleigh Talbert.
Okay, model.
Okay. And she got her other shirt on, but yeah, talk to us about that first, please.
So the way I started my own clothing brand, it was nothing easy. During COVID, I think it was my junior year, going into my senior year, we were on lockdown. I wasn't playing basketball, and I was trying to figure out another way to be happy, because honestly, I was super depressed. When you're so far away from home and then you're not able to go see your family members or anything, I had to come up with another hobby to do. I came up with SIXTHMAN Athletics, Bless the Sixth Man, because that's what I was known for in college. I was known as the sixth man on the team. And so I wanted to create a brand that revolved around me, but also could inspire and impact other people. To me, a sixth man is somebody that can be a light unto somebody, can be energetic to somebody, somebody that goes through hardships but knows how to get through it, and knows that although you have a low, doesn't mean that the next day won't be a high for you. And so you're able to bounce back quickly, and you're able to get through those obstacles. And so SIXTHMAN Athletics was, I guess, brought to you guys last year in 2021 in October. And honestly, it's been an amazing journey. I'm not where I want to be right now, but I know I'm going to get there by the grace of God and with my family that is around me. And so, yeah, that's how everything originated.
I am very proud of you. Y'all, the stuff that she be designing, I'm like, can you design my shirts?
I can though. I
can though. That'd be so hard. That's my sister.
Yeah.
Like I said, this video is about, okay. Bro, I can't think of a word.
I don't know what you're thinking of.
Every team that I tried out for, you know, I was on the team. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing in a good way. Like I'm
no, like you trying to say I was supposed to be on the team?
No.
No, but what can we do?
It is amazing.
Thank you.
What's the question again?
Stop.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to push it into your brain. People need to stop manifesting that my life's gonna do a 360. Cause if your life does a 360, that's a circle. So you're just gonna go back to how it was when everything was bad. You need to do a 180. So you go from that bad part and you go to this good part and you keep it there. Don't try to redo the same actions because you're gonna get the same results.
Come on.
I'm preaching, period.